Men, the skies have cleared, the rains have stopped, the sun is in the sky. We must rid all vehicles of dents. Now, by the power of touch, we must defeat them. Good luck, men. We can do this together. As a Dent army, I salute you.
What is going on, guys?
Yes,
Ryan here with another episode of the Dent Digest Live Show. Welcome you here. If you see, we are getting the salute for the Dent world. What's up, Aaron?
Dent Army. How's it going? All good?
You know, just living the dream, you know.
Living the dream. Yeah,
So,
thanks so much for having me on, man. I appreciate it.
You know, I've been like bugging you for months, and you're like, dude, I'm just too, and you guys don't realize, so he's in Essex over there, not far from London, and right now it is 2 o'clock in the morning there. So I applaud you for coming on.
Yeah.
And
nah, it's all good, mate. Why not? You know, why
time.
not? Seems silly to turn opportunity down.
So we got a couple things. Last week's show, I don't know if you caught it, was really, really good. A lot of really positive stuff going on in that show. And I've enjoyed the last couple shows. It's just kind of been keeping it positive. I want to kind of go a little different run on this show with just different topics and real life stuff. But with you, you know, I started noticing your stuff on Instagram probably a little before lockdown. And I really was like, man, he's doing a good job. I reached out, I said, hey, what app are you using on this?
Oh, yeah,
yeah, this one. But man, you're doing a fantastic job. You're doing a really good job. You know, even just your little post with the business cards or the plate covers, and you're doing 100%. A really, really good job. So,
but like I said, you know, I've been inspired by all your stuff. I love all the whole look of everything. I think it's brilliant, and I think keeping it all uniform is it's really important.
It is, and I think that's more important than most. And you know, I know a lot of guys personally that have some paintless dent repair companies that have been around for a little while, and they're like, oh, I really want to rebrand my company, and you know, I want to rebrand it. And I'm like, why? He's like, oh, it's just time. No, it's not. Has McDonald's rebranded their logo?
Exactly.
No. Has Coca-Cola? No. Volkswagen? No. There's a reason. They put the time in.
100%.
And
they're so straightforward as well. Like most big companies and most brands that you remember are so simple. They're just like one color, maybe two colors. No, easy to read, easy to remember. I think,
Mr. Dent Reaper's asking if you're drinking beer or coffee.
That's coffee, mate. It's 2 o'clock in the morning.
I mean, I'm missing the captain hat. You know.
I've got.
You know, the captain hat over here. Look at that. That's you, man. You should. I'm telling you, you should put Dent Effects on there and rock that to work. I bet you would sell it all day long.
Do you think?
All day long. Dent Effects logo right there, just killing it. So, how are you dealing with the lockdown?
Yeah, I mean, it's been mixed emotions, really. I mean, like I say, the start of lockdown was kind of nice in a way. It was nice for everyone to just take a step back and just reflect on a lot of things. And you know, for me as well, it was nice to just focus on a lot of stuff that you don't get time to do. Like I say, like a lot of the branding stuff, you know, I thought about what I wanted to do. You know, it's good to take the time out to do it, really. But yeah, I mean, but the thing is, and then the problem is because it's gone on for so long now, you know, I think he's gone up and down. Some minutes it's really good. Some minutes everyone's getting fed up with it.
Pandemic fatigue.
Yeah. It's just, and I think the problem is it's just the stress with everyone as well.
Yeah.
But again, the start of the lockdown was great because everyone was like, oh, we've got this time, let's get this done, let's get the dent on the car done while we're at home.
Yeah.
And because it was March, April here, it was perfect weather. I think February, March was probably the best weather, some of the best weather we've had in years, you know, and we were stuck in our flat.
Yeah.
But everyone was outside washing their cars, you know, mowing the lawn. Everyone was just getting all the jobs done, really.
Yeah, we shut down in March, and it was great weather. You know, I was like, at first you're upset, but after you kind of unwind, you're kind of like, okay. Could I do this forever?
Yeah.
Hell no.
Nah, yeah.
I do have a couple mentions I want to bring up on tools. Blem tools, a lot of people have reached out. My shut-ups are back in stock. So if you guys want them, get them while you can. I know TDN just placed an order, and he, you know, has some more. The other tool that I want to mention, and I've talked about this tool once before, it is the Excalibur upper brace set. Okay, and I'm bringing only one of these on. And the reason I'm bringing this on is because this thing is a fantastic upper brace tool. I've been using it in places I probably shouldn't use it. Bedsides in the top rail cap, when you pull the plastic off, slides right up in there where you get the dents up high on the bed. Very,
Toothpick.
a ton of leverage. But this upper brace tool, something with the bend. I really like the offset handle. Really
Them handles are great
tool.
for power, though. Yeah.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's the other thing I want to mention is John Bidene's podcast, Dents and Dreams. If you guys haven't gone on there, check that out. It's been really good. And you were just on a podcast.
Yeah.
I have not watched, and I told him, I said, I have not watched it. And there's a reason I haven't watched it, because I like to be surprised of what he says and not know his story before.
Yeah,
so
that's brilliant. Yeah. But yeah,
those guys, man, Ben and
yeah,
them,
it's really good. But again,
know.
because the industry is so different here, you know, and we're sort of trying to stick together and try and build a good community, because it's Jesse. Yeah, mate. Yeah, living on a boat.
See, I said that too. He said, I'm living on a boat. And I was like, I thought that was a boat.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell them that story real quick while we're on it, or?
Yeah, sure. Well, the thing is, we was living in London, and obviously with the whole pandemic thing, it's really sad, to be honest, but it's really changed. You know, the city itself is just dead. You know, and the problem is, it costs a lot of money to live in the city, but it's fun to live there because it's buzzing. You know, you've bars, restaurants, the people, but there's just nothing. There's nothing really going on, so it just seems silly. And yeah, I've always I thought about it for a long time, and I thought, you know what, we looked on my birthday, which was probably not a good idea, but and I just thought, you know what, let's just do it, and yeah, give it a go, see what it's like. But yeah,
I bet you sleep good at night.
Oh man, it's amazing. Honestly, from living in London and waking up probably every single night with people arguing and shouting outside, cars bibbing. The first night we came to the boat, I think I didn't even wake. I think I woke up in the afternoon. You just like being rocked to sleep every night.
So, how long have you been pushing?
So I started in 2013. So what is that? That's 8 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, before I was even doing PDR, I worked for Vauxhall. I mean, you don't have Vauxhall there, but General Motors. So I done my apprenticeship for 3 years, but it was more in the refinishing side, so more the painting. And I loved it, really. But I worked for Vauxhall for 3 years, but the problem was the company I was working for, it was a family business, and it didn't work out, and the company went bust. So I got made redundant there, and then I worked for a couple more body shops, but got more into the fitting side of things, you know, like the MET. Yeah, and then I got another job. I got another Vauxhall garage, got in contact, and then I ended up working for Vauxhall again. But then I done the panel side of things, and I just loved it, you know. But you know, learned how to weld and cutting panels off and learning using the jig. And again, that's why I like doing all the nasty big jobs, I think.
No,
Yeah,
we're just stupid. We're just, you know, we're not the smart ones. That's what I told a guy today. I was like, yeah, I fix all the stuff no one else can fix.
yeah.
I'm this
But for
schmuck in
me,
town.
yeah, but for me, it's just like I say, like I started off, you're in the body shop, and everyone, it's just, you know, rub it down, fill it, and paint it. And then I got more into, oh, thank you, Jesse, man, appreciate it. Sorry, I've lost my thought now.
So how did you?
But I got
how
into
did you-
doing metal finishing, really.
Okay.
And but it takes too much time, and the problem is with body shops, they don't want to spend the time. But yeah, and then even the guy at work sort of introduced me to it, and it was one of them things, you know, you're like, oh, that's, you know, because it was always the dent guys that would come in, you know,
for like hail or whatever.
Nah, we don't really get hail.
No.
Not down in, not in the south really. Up maybe in the north. Up north they get hail, but we don't really get it here, to be honest.
Oh, you're saying the dent guys would come into the body shops?
They come into body shops and the like the forecourts, but it would be very much sort of that looks fine, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Where'd you get trained?
So I mean, I could give you the long story or the short story, but
Give us the express.
The express. Well, so basically, so this for me, like I say, I was working in body shops for years, and I really loved it. But yeah, it was. I mean, it was going fine, but the pay was not good, and it was just sort of it become like a dead end sort of job, you know.
Yeah.
And it was. I was young, and it was good. And then at 23, I had some really bad news. And my best friend passed away. And he had a heart attack out of nowhere at 23, and yeah, and it just hit me really, really bad. And because of that, I just thought, to be honest, it lasted a while, and then in the end, I walked out of my job, and I was just like, I can't do this anymore. I need a change, and I found a job offering for PDR, and I thought, you know what, I'll give this a try. And yeah, I really enjoyed it, to be honest. But yeah, and I worked for a company. They promised all the training, and they promised a lot, but they didn't deliver. Basically, it was very much, this is what you do. Sit in the room. Here's some panels. Practice on them. We'll be back later. And then, you know, you go, oh, well, I don't think this is right. And they go, no, that's wrong. This is how you do it. Come back tomorrow. I think it was for about a month or so. And it's unbelievable how much like when you're learning, you can drive yourself insane.
Yeah.
Because it's so, you just can't get your head around it. And I know it's weird to think now, you know, but you just can't get your head around it.
And that's the hardest part on training a guy, is because in your head right now, you're like, this is easy. What do you mean you can't figure this out? It's easy. The guy's like, oh, I can't even find my tip or whatever. It's easy. It's the hardest part of training, is getting over that hump of saying, think like you don't know. You know? And I think a lot of guys have been in your situation to where company hires them, throws them on a panel, and leaves. And I have a buddy of mine that went to a place and got trained, paid money to get trained. And he practiced for like a year on his own. And he's like, I'm just not getting it. So he came here, and I spent some time with him, and I was like, dude, you've been practicing a year the wrong way.
Yeah, that's it.
Like, you can try, but you're not going to get it like this. So a lot of guys have been through that same issue that, you know.
Yeah, and if you've got no one to help you out, no guidance, then you don't really know. You're just trying to figure something out that you don't really know. But and again, the tools I was using, sometimes I try and use a door tool, and the tools are bending. I think this is this is not right. But yeah, then we eventually, you get it, but doing small stuff. But the problem is the company, all they care about is profit, and they want to get you out as quick as possible and get you earning money for them. But it just didn't work out, and I was in a really, like I say, with the whole situation, I was in a really bad place, and yeah, I just couldn't concentrate with it, and I tried, and I stayed with the company for a year, and in the end, from where I lived and to where I was driving, I was leaving at like 7 a.m. and getting back at like 9-10 p.m. Trying to work it out, and it went on for months, and then in the end, it just went even worse. I split up with my girlfriend. I lost my flat, and it just went down and down and down and down, and I just got fed up with it, and it's got to a point I almost wanted to quit learning, but yeah, and then I moved back to my parents, and just I ordered, and I just thought, you know what, I'm going to start my own business, and that was when it started. Like I say, 2014. I thought I just want to just try it, but because I was used to doing the trade stuff and the retail, not so much retail. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you just feel like you're not getting anywhere. But yeah, and I bought loads of tools. I've got ordered loads of ultra stuff. I've always bought Snap-on tools, so I always make sure I get the best quality stuff. And yeah, I just kept practicing and practicing, and I got a lot of wholesale, like job car lots, and dealerships, and it was just all trade stuff. But again, like I say, I did start then, but for a good couple of years I was in a bad mental place, so it was a bit up and down all the time, but in a good way. It really helped me out because it gave me something to focus on. And
now Manny's asking, do you prefer line or fog?
lines, really. I mean, I'm trying to start to use fog just because I feel like it's better. It's a lot easier with bigger stuff. And further, yeah, sometimes lines are good, but sometimes it can just mess with your brain a little.
I can't fix a damn thing with lines.
Yeah.
Can't fix anything. It's like,
yeah.
It's like reading a different language for me.
Yeah, but that's what I feel like when I put the light, because like I'm trying to teach myself with the light, but it's I mean, everyone's different, aren't they? I guess.
Well, I can
think
tell
for
you,
different situations, I think it's good better.
I think if you could master both of them, you got something.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I feel like you need both.
Yeah, because I feel like
I'll use a line on the wall, which is the same basic idea as a line board, or a line on the ground. But
I like the lines for like close up to find really like tight details. But the problem is if you bring it back too far, you can't see anything. So that's why I think the fog is good further away, because you can see so much more detail from afar. Queen's English. Yeah, wholesale. Yeah.
only Vadim would say something craziness. So right now,
yeah, and like I say, yeah, sorry.
Right now, if you had to pick your 3 favorite go-to tools right now that you use on the daily, what would they be?
100% the Reaper rods. I use them. I like.
Those things don't work. That was the tool you were talking about that was bending, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I just love. Yeah, I just love them. But I know, like I say, I just wish the old ones. I just wish that they were stainless. But I think it's got stainless out now. But the like the Long Reaper, the big one, the big 3 set.
Yeah,
that's favorite ones. I love them. What else? I don't really know, to be honest. And my favorite tool really is just the Ultra double bend with the adjustable tips, because I just feel like you can use it for so many things, and it's so versatile. And most of the time, I always just pick it up, just put a different tip on it.
Yeah, it's that's definitely, you need to have that in your arsenal. You know what I mean? I think you're probably talking about the 30-inch. Probably.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. But I try and keep things simple, really, and try and change the tips up rather than having too many tools of doing the same thing, but just a little tiny bit longer.
And we were talking before the show, and I asked him if he was thinking about coming to MTE, and he was like, "Yeah, I'd love to." And I think
I would.
I was explaining to everyone, I think MTE is a huge networking event. Like, if you don't come to MTE, you're missing out. You really are. Just networking, and even just support. You know what I mean? Guys, you call, hey, just what app are you using for that, or how are you making that, or what are you doing to, just little stuff like that. Not even, hey, I need help, but just build friendships. 100%.
But to be honest, like, I feel like that with Instagram. I started it again with doing the Queen's trade work, as we say, and but it was just to show garages, like, this is what sort of stuff we do, this is what we do. And after a while you start putting stuff on, and the problem is when you're on your own, you don't really know, you got no one to compare, or what you don't really know what's good and what's not good. And it was just crazy. And then all of a sudden, I've got like people from the States liking things. I'm like, who's this person? And then you've got people in Russia, and you've got like all these people, all these dent techs all over the world. And I think, and then over time, it's just crazy. And then you start talking to each other, and and then you get an inspiration from each other. And before you know it, like you're saying with Manny, I watch Manny's stories every day, and like I feel like I know him so well, But just mad.
It's definitely helped. And when we started this show tonight, I just said how well you've done with your marketing. And if you guys don't follow him, you really need to. He's doing a fantastic job, just with his plate covers and the branding, and you've done a really, really good job. So it's nice to watch the evolve.
But the way I see it is just trying to, like I was speaking earlier, is trying to think about trying to educate a customer to explain what it is, because it's all well and good just putting a before and after picture, but the problem is people see that and they just think, oh, you just go like, it goes from that to that. They don't understand what's involved with it, or the time, or
it's, and we were talking before also
telling a story, basically.
And you need to make your post. I see a lot of guys before and after, and they're great. There's nothing wrong with that. But I almost think, and I learned this with the lockdown that we had, you need to relate to them a little more. You need to simplify, make it more simple, make it to where they're like, you need to get enough just to catch their attention, to keep them there for a second. That's all you need. And you do that every day, little things. That an average woman,
make it interesting. Yeah. Because a lot of things that I've found as well is like, if people are following you, then they want to see what you're up to all the time. And what we do is very interesting, like, but because you do it all the time, you don't actually realize. And it's silly things that you just, how much we all love buying tools and looking at tools, but for a customer who don't know what that is, it's 100 times more interesting, because they're like, wow, what is this? What does it do?
And just keep it simple. That's the best thing. Keep it simple, engaging. And you'll create that following. You know, you'll create the people that'll follow you because it's interesting. And you know, there's a local Facebook group in the town that I live, and I started posting in there. Just not even like a before and after, just interesting post of different things. And I've seen an immediate growth in my area here because where I live, I've never really tried to grow this area. My shop's a little farther away. But just on the retail side, it's worked really well. You know, I can't believe just from one group that I'm posting in that it's doing so well. And there is something I want to bring up. I've talked to guys quite a bit, and I praise Google My Business was a huge thing for me that I learned a lot on during the COVID. And I want to show you the proofs in the pudding. And this week really kind of made me step back, and I was like, wow, it's actually working. You know what I mean? Every week that I'm putting this time in. So it's Google sent me this. I don't know if you guys can read that. And what it says is your 241 photos got 9,007 views in 1 month. That's crazy. That's crazy. So put your time in on your Google My Business. I'm telling you.
Yeah, it goes a long way, I think, definitely.
And it's huge if you're trying to grow your business. It's huge if you're trying to get more business. You know, it's just time.
But like we said, you know, you got to think about it as if someone was looking for your services, what would they look for and what would they be interested in? You know, the first thing anyone does now, they pick up their phone, they Google anything, you know,
dent repair or whatever.
Yeah. How do I do this? And then they see that, and then as long as they see some interesting photos, and then, like you say, to catch someone's attention, and then they'll look at it, and then you need more interesting things, and then once they've seen your work,
I'm gonna start tagging the Queen's English. That's hashtag Queen's English. John's got me going now.
The Queen's English.
So what's your plan there? Are you trying to grow? Are you trying to, obviously after COVID, because things are still kind of crazy there, and you know?
Yeah, well, like I say, so last year was the first. So I've always done a mix of retail and wholesale, but like I say, the different here, the business, the wholesale, the trade work is very it's so different. The trade work, yeah, it's just it's there's a lot of big companies that have a lot of technicians and they charge nothing for it, and they've got so many contracts with all the big dealers, and most of them are not interested, you know. So yeah, that's why probably 2 years ago I thought, you know what, I'm going to push the retail side of things. And then last year I was just like, I'm just focusing on retail, because the time that you can spend, if you've got a little bit more time on your hands, you can spend it on doing the marketing side of things. But the problem is just the traveling, really.
Yeah. Because traffic is terrible.
Yeah, and again, that's why I moved away from London, just because of the traffic. I mean, it's great, the cars are great, but it's not worth finishing a job and spending an hour and a half, 2 hours in traffic. It's soul destroying as well.
Are you trying to really grow in that new area? Is that what you're trying to do?
I'd like to, and to be fair, I'd like to. The plan, really, I'd just like to get some videos together and just educate people, because the problem is when you're mobile, is a lot of quotes and a lot of stuff is done through your phone and messages and WhatsApp, and the problem is all people see is a price, and they go, oh, that's too expensive, and you can't take time and go through and try and explain to each person, because most people they just want the best price. But I've been talking to a lot of people and like educating people with videos, and they see the videos and then they realize what is actually involved, and then when you tell them the price, they go, all right, I understand, and you see why it's that price. But it's very difficult. when you're mobile.
Yeah, it
Personally,
is.
that's why.
Now,
Yeah.
do you try to call that customer when they send you photos or whatever, or do you just try to send them a message back?
Yeah, I mean, it sometimes you speak to people, and sometimes it's through messages. Yeah.
I think here, for me personally, I probably have an 80 to 90% closing rate if I get them on the phone.
Yeah.
Probably 50-50 through text, because they just look at the number, like you said, and they're gone. You know, I'm always trying to explain and educate them. This is why.
Yeah.
This is what I have to do. I have to drop the liner. I have to take the wheel off. I
Yeah.
have to. So
But it's
it's
kind of draining after a while, keep trying to say, like,
yeah.
it's almost like you're not begging them. I don't want to beg you to do to do it, but
You know, it's I don't know, and I feel like times here have changed a little bit. Like right as soon as the pandemic hit, it didn't matter. Like pricing didn't matter. Just come out and fix it. All I want to do is done. I want it done. I want it done. Now I feel like people are being a little more cost. They're
yeah,
watching the
100%.
cost a little more, which I completely understand. It's a crazy time. Finances are crazy. Some people have lost their jobs since then. Some, we were at a guy house today, had COVID in March and hasn't been back to work because he's still having issues, but he's getting his dent fixed, so. Hey, I'll take it. I'm not going to judge anybody. So,
But to be honest, a lot of people have said that. They went, do you know what? It just takes my mind off of things for a little while, and it's nice to. But again, being mobile, people sort of like just the fact that someone's come around outside, they sorted their car out, and it's just a little bit of communication, really.
and that's one thing I do like about mobile is,
Yeah, 100%.
you're at a different house, different area, different personalities.
Yeah,
I feel like
it's so confusing. That's what I'm stuck with, because I'd really like, personally, I'd really like a workshop and to have people coming to me.
It's got its
But it's
both
just
ways.
one. Yeah, I know.
Manny and I were talking about that today. He's like, so what do you like? What do you like? And I'm like, I like mobile when the weather's right.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say. But here it's mostly raining and it's mostly grey.
Piss and rain, right? Piss and rain.
Yeah. I mean, today was drier, hence the video.
I don't know. It's borderline. I'll be honest with you. And I've been renting a space from a body shop for 7 years, and I, have my own space now, and it's different. And what I mean by that is I fixed a car. Guy hit a big fire hydrant. I don't know if you guys have fire hydrants there.
We don't know, but I know what you mean.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And it was bad. It was really bad. He dropped it off. He left it with me, I think 2 days. I had it really worked on it for like 4 or 5 hours. But the music's playing. I don't have headphones on. The door's locked. And I just got into it. I felt like I was in that dent. You know what I mean? I was like, okay, this isn't working. I could really dive into that dent and dissect it. I was by myself, and I don't know. I think the repair was better than I would have done at his house.
Yeah. And this is my problem as well. Sometimes I take the bigger jobs on, and you're battling with the weather and the temperature and wherever you're working and the lighting, and sometimes like
Lost his audio.
inside.
There you go. Yeah, I've lost your audio. Your mic's off. I think his headphones died. It's gone. Look at that. So anyway, I'm back with you. See if he can make it happen. Can he hear me? I got no mic. I got nothing. Well, that was fun. There he is.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
What is going on?
I thought these had run out, but I don't know.
It's that damn boat. It's that boat.
It honestly it is. I've got to put the we've got like Wi-Fi, like mobile Wi-Fi, and we've got to put it outside because of the because it's all made of steel. You shut the doors and you go. Yeah.
So we were talking about retail and mobile and you're right. I mean, I think it's a lot of it. And I said this to a dent guy that's local here that's been doing it over 20 years. That actually got me into the business. And he's looking at my truck setup, and he's like, "Carry that stool around with you all the time?" I'm like, "Yeah." I said, "You know what I've learned? The more comfortable I am, the
100%.
better and faster that repair is going to go." And he's like, "You got a point there." And I'm like,
Yeah, man.
"Dude, I'm getting old, man."
Yeah, but that's like me with my van. You should see my van. I've got all the like electric set up. I've got my sound system all set up. I've got all like LED lighting in the back. I've got I've got a shelter I put up, and it's like a little mobile workshop. So, but it's just
You gotta
setting.
put some photos up.
Yeah, the problem is again, like because of I don't know security and stuff. I don't like to
True.
post too much. Yeah, I
True.
don't like to post too much.
And what are you driving? It's a Volkswagen, right?
Volkswagen Caddy, yeah.
See, we don't have those here.
Yeah, I know. Manny's very jealous of the van. It's so many people messaged before that. It was like, where can we get these vans? Where can we get these vans? Yeah.
Now, do you work out of a cart, a bag, or do you just work out of the back of the truck, or
Yeah,
what?
no, so I've got a tool cart. I've got one of the TDN tool carts.
Look at you,
Um,
baller.
yeah. Well, I used to have bags, but again, the problem is you're working on the floor, it rains, the bags get wet, the tools get rusty, everything gets you lose tools all the time, and I'm just very fussy with everything. So I like to have everything laid out in its
Organization.
I like everything's got a place, and I like it in its place.
I'm the same way. And I'll tell
Yeah.
you, I learned that over the years. When I used to work for Dent Wizard, used to have a Ford Ranger with some gun cases, and they would just stay open. We would just throw the stuff in the back of the truck, and you'd spend 10 minutes digging around all the tools, and they would get rusty, and the handles would fall off, and it'd be a disaster.
Yeah.
And now you look in the back of my truck, everything has a place.
Yeah, I love your truck. Yeah.
We know right where it is. You know what I mean? We know where everything is at every time. So it's very rarely. And I'm trying to teach Shane. You know, Shane's newer. He's been with me 2 years. And trying to train him. Everything has its place, because if you're leaving somewhere and you look at the bag or your cart or whatever, and it's not there, you know it's there. You don't have to drive back to go get a tool.
Yeah. For me, it's like knockdowns and stuff, because it has the magnets on them, and then they fall somewhere and they stick to something, because then they're gone forever.
Do you have a big cart or small cart?
Just a small one. Yeah, the van, you can't get much in them vans. I mean,
now is it like a ramp?
Yeah, I've got like a wheelchair ramp that comes out the back.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a nice little setup, and like I say, I like to have everything. I feel like when all my tools and everything's neat, I mean, the job comes out neat. When you sort of got everything on the floor and you're working in the rain, you just want to get over and done with, kind of thing. It's nice to be comfortable. Like you say, the more comfortable they are, I feel like the better the job.
Now, are you using like an umbrella?
So I use an umbrella for like a small repairs, but if I'm doing big jobs, I've got it's like 3 meters by 3 meter gazebo.
Okay, so like a pop up, like a 10 by 10.
Yeah, I mean, it's big enough to get a small to medium size, like a side of a car. But if I'm doing like a van or a truck or something, it's not ideal, but it gets you out of trouble.
Yeah.
But sometimes again, it's kind of cozy. If it's pouring down the rain, I put the shelter up, and it's kind of nice, you know. I'm under the shelter and it's raining outside. Then I've got the heater on. Yeah.
You break out a heater?
Not heat. I mean like the heat gun.
Okay. And I saw a post. It was a couple months ago. You were like, I keep burning up these heat guns.
Oh my! Honestly. So yeah, there's like a hardware store here, and they're cheap guns, but because heat guns don't really last that long, purely because of the nature of what it does. But yeah, I bought a heat gun and it lasted 3 months, but it had 12 months warranty, so you can just take it back and replace it. But I took it back, and then the next one lasted 1 month, and then the next one lasted like 2 days, and I was just like, do you know what? I don't even want it anymore. And I had like 4 of the plastic cases, and I just like, please, can you just take these back? I've got no use for them. But now I've bought a DeWalt one. I should have done that to start with.
Is it a plug-in or battery?
No, it's a plug-in.
Yeah.
I mean, I know the Milwaukee do the cordless ones, but I don't think they give up much heat.
I don't think it lasts long.
Yeah.
Do you use much on a torch?
Yeah, mostly. To be honest, when it's not that cold, if it's a small job, I just torch it because it's just easier. Yeah. But it's more if I'm doing a big repair or aluminium or something like that, or aluminum. the Queen's English aluminium.
How many aluminium cars are there?
To be honest, most European stuff now, all the German stuff is all coming out Ali, and Jaguar, Range Rovers, which is the same group. They're all coming out Ali as well. So
Ali. That's what I'm gonna start calling it, Ali. Ali, Queen's English.
Yeah. Ali.
So, what do you see in your business? Do you want to grow? Do you want to get more employees? Do you want to kind of stay to yourself? What's the future for Dent FX?
Yeah, I don't really. Personally, I think I spoke to a lot of people who's taking people on, and it does become. I think it's because when you take someone on, is they don't have. They're not into the job as much as you are. You know, they're not invested in it. But yeah, I kind of like being on my own. But then sometimes it's nice to it's a bit more motivation when you're with someone else as well.
Yeah, it's definitely, you have to find the right people.
Yeah, 100%.
You know,
but for me now, I've got a lot. Like I said, I think a retail shop really. I think it would be so nice.
Even if you're not there all the time.
Exactly. Yeah. Just for more in the 3-4 winter months. And
okay, I said to Manny, I said, I could do mobile for 3 days a week and just be at the shop 2 days a week and be fine.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, because it's more for big jobs. Like I like doing the big jobs, but you really need to like be in the right headspace for it and have the time. And I don't know. Sometimes when you're rushing around, it's not good to take on 2 big jobs because I don't know. Personally, that's what I think.
And it's the stress behind it. I've got to go to the next step. I still got 5 more. You know, you never know what some of these the damage. You just don't know.
The customers like.
Yeah. You know, you don't know if they're going to take you an hour or if it's going to take you 3 hours. An easy dent could take you a lot longer if you make one bad push or just something's not what you thought.
Yeah.
You know, I had a Volkswagen GLI dent in the rear door, and I'm like, okay, this will be an easy dent. And it took me almost 2.5 hours. It was in this weird brace. I couldn't get the right angle. It just happens, you know, and I used to hate before the pandemic. The pandemic for me has been great because it slowed me down, you know, because I'm a run and gunner. I mean, we are on the move the whole time, and it made me take less on, so I'm not so stressed.
Yeah, yeah,
100%. If they can't wait till Thursday, find somebody else.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I mean, how many jobs would you say you're doing before all this?
Again, it depends because I was doing a lot of wholesale stuff, whereas like last year it's gone more sort of retail. But again, it's the traveling because I was covering too much of a big area that it's just sort of like, oh, I've got to go here, then I've got to go here, then I've got to go here. But again, the days like now, it's getting lighter now. But last month it's 4 p.m. It's dark. Yeah,
that's a short day.
Yeah, and it probably gets light about 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. But in the summer, you know, it doesn't get dark till 10 o'clock.
Oh, really?
So sometimes in the summer, I'll work in the evenings. It's kind of nice because people finish work and they go, can you pop round in the evening? You think, yeah, sure. it's quite nice actually, because you're not in a rush to go. You
Yeah.
just sort of like, that's what I'm doing in the evening. Yeah.
So you're still working through the lockdown, and are you considered essential, or how does that work?
Well, this is the problem here. It's not it's a lockdown, but it may as well. I don't know. The whole rules is never. It's like, oh, it could be this. You shouldn't be doing this, but you can do this, and everyone's just like, we don't understand.
Yeah.
Like the van. Yeah, that was my dad's van.
Was it really? That was a
Yeah.
nasty dent.
Yeah, I didn't. I said to him, to be honest, it needs to go to body shop, but because it's my dad, I was like, I'll see what I can do. But I need to spend some more time on it, really. But he needs the van.
Yeah, that was a bad dent. It was in
Yeah.
that upper section above the handle.
Yeah, and it's all braced. So I finally got Glexo hot glue. So I was trying that out and messing around. Yeah, 100%.
Come pick it up. You can borrow it.
I'll get the. Should I jump on the plane now?
Just ride the boat over. Right over the pond. We'll be fine.
Yeah, straight over the pond. Oh man.
But yeah, man, it's like I said, I think your push with your marketing has done a lot for you.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And I focused.
You've kind of stood yourself out of the crowd a little bit.
Yeah, but again, like you say, but having the time, I was like, do you know what? Rather than rush around and try and fix as many dents as I can and try and earn as much money as I can, I was like, I'm just going to focus on doing a good job and marketing it well.
Yes.
And you don't have to run around like a lunatic, trying to, I'll come do this, I'll come do that. And so many people, they either find me on Google or they find me somehow through recommendation, and they go on Instagram and they go, yep, I see your work. They was like,
and you know what I've realized just with social media, even with my show, I have I have customers in here right now that are watching, some of my guys that are in the shops and stuff. I've realized customers today want to deal with a small company, and they want to deal with you. I've had customers all the time that have called and they're like, you're coming out, Ryan, right? You're coming. And I'm like, yes, I'm coming, but I think a lot of it is just, they feel more comfortable. It's kind of like you're opening 100%. Yourself up. It's like you're giving your proposal.
Yeah, 100%.
Your application before you even get there. They know what you look like. They know what you sound like. And I think it's a comfortable factor. Makes them feel more comfortable.
Yeah.
But
like I said before, with Manny's stories, I watch them all the time. And
you too. You need to get back on there and start doing it.
Yeah, I know. But again, and it's crazy because you don't realize who's watching it, and then all of a sudden, people are like, "Oh, is everything all right? Has things? I haven't seen you on your stories." I think, "Oh, really?"
Get back on there.
And again, doing silly videos, like people love it. It's just I like to be silly, so it's nice.
That was good today. Today was good. That's why we opened the show with it. You know what I mean? I was like, hey, we're gonna open it. He's like, oh, we are. I'm like, yep.
Yeah. I know. I got to the job and it was just like messages, like everyone just laughing, laugh.
It was good. But you got to get back on those stories, man. They were really good.
It's just good to boost people's morale. Everyone's so miserable now. Literally, that is why I grew this moustache. I was like, do you know what?
It's perfect for you. Keep it.
Why not? Yeah, everyone said that.
And that photo you sent to me, I sent him a message. I said, send me something funny because we need something. And I'm sure you guys saw that whole thing. But that is just classic. You know what I mean? In the black and white. It was perfect. So, but get back on it, man. Like I said, I enjoyed it. It was fun.
But again, and like you say, but it's completely different markets, ain't it? Like you see some of the cars work on, and again, a lot of thing is, and in London as well, you go to some really cool places, but they don't allow you to film anything, and it's so frustrating because you think people would love this. Like, I've been
my kid and I were watching you on some of your stories. We would sit there. She's 6, and she would be like, "He talks so funny."
I know.
You know what I mean?
But it's so cool. Yeah, but it's crazy how. So my girlfriend's got a friend. One of her friends is in South Africa, and like her kids they watch it, and it's just crazy because they're like, oh, what's he doing? What's he doing with that? And so I made a video for him. Like her son's autistic, so he likes sounds. So I sent him a video of all these of me like I was saying, oh yeah, he goes, what's that noise? And he's like, oh, he's banging the hammer. He's like, that man's my hero. So I sent him so I sent him all these videos of me hitting the hammer like in all different angles, and he just loved it. And then so I thought, you know what, put on Instagram, and everyone just went, this is amazing. So we realized that you should try and make videos for children, and your customers will understand it.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, because you sort of have to explain it a little bit more, you know.
It's a great idea.
Yeah. So imagine your audience is small children.
That's scary.
Yeah.
You know, and it's, you know what, you just gotta be kind of unique. You know what I mean? I had Shane today took a photo, and I was like, oh, where does this creativity come from?
Yeah.
And he's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, this is such a great photo. It's through a stucky wedge.
Oh, yeah, man.
I'm working on the other side, and I'm like, bro, that's the stuff people want to see.
Yeah, 100%.
The different, you know,
but like close-ups with the glue tabs, and people were like, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. So,
and I think that's it. It's bringing out your personality as well, and being creative with it.
You gotta just put yourself out there. That's where I think,
especially now, you know, people are not socializing now because of the whole COVID. So it's really nice. People seeing it's nice to see someone's face, I think, and be silly and not take life too seriously, but also do a good job.
The communication.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, and I had a customer the other day who was like, I've never missed a handshake so much in my life.
Oh man, I know. Yeah, it's crazy, ain't it?
And I'm like, that's old school. Now we just do the head nod. You know,
yeah, the elbow.
But no, man, you got to get back on those stories.
Yeah, but again, it opens up so much opportunity. You know, I wouldn't be sitting here chatting with you otherwise. You know, it's crazy.
I don't know, you did some pretty cool stuff before then. I was like, okay, this guy's on it. You know, and you just did a little short video that I sent you a message the other day, and I was like, you killed it on that one. That one was, I think, your best one you've ever done.
Really? Yeah.
But the other thing I really like is the tag covers, your little tag covers. I don't know where you had those made, but that is a fantastic. Are they magnetic?
Tag covers. Oh, what, for the number plates?
Yeah, number plates. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So they're they're acrylic, and then they've been laser cut with the logo. And then basically we just like suction cup them on so they stay on. But I mean, you have like aluminium number plates too. Mm-hmm. They're metal, aren't they?
Yeah. Is that a local company that made those for you, or what?
Yeah, man. I can ask if they can do them.
That's a pretty good idea. They look really good. Were they expensive?
I think that was £40. So what, $50-$60?
That's cheap.
Yeah, I mean it is what it is. I mean I use them all the time, but it's just really nice to have it. It looks cool when it's all. I don't know. Like I say, I like everything in its place. Like I have a system when I get to the car. I have to do this and I have to do that. And sometimes I'm like to the customer, I say, "Can you just wait a minute? I need to get into the zone." And then afterwards, but again, people putting stuff on social media. People really like it, you know, and they like seeing. They go, "Oh, that's my car." They like to see their car on there.
Yeah, and I just saw a post the other day, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to do that. It was someone posted. I don't remember who it was on Facebook about sending a customer a before and after.
Oh yeah, and also as well, what I've done. So I've done it was a Fiat X19. Basically, it's an old Italian sports car. They're like an 80s car. They're not super special, but there's not many of them made. But the guy didn't want to spend that much money. But I tidied a few bits up on it, and I've done loads of videos, and I made like a little, like a collage sort of thing of doing the little time lapse here. And I thought I'd send it to him because at the end of the day, like that's his pride and joy, and he's got, you know, he goes to the shows, and I just think it's nice. It's a nice little like keepsake for him to, you know, it didn't take long for me to do.
Yeah.
It take what, an hour after doing the job to do it, and then you think it's nice, you know, he's
Well,
going to keep that
what else it is?
forever.
It's when he looks at his friends and says, "You got to see what this guy did. Look at this." Boom.
Yeah. But I was saying to my girlfriend, like, the way I see it with customers, I feel like it's not about this job that I'm doing for this customer. It's about the job that the opportunity that I'm going to get after this, you know.
Yep.
So I don't think about, oh, I'm going to earn this money, or I'm going to do this for this job. I think I just want to make sure this is the best job I can do and give this best service. And he will just tell all his friends, you know, they will do all the advertising for you. Most of my work is pretty much all of my work is recommendations. You know, it's just like, it just takes time.
You know,
It's crazy.
the one thing I started doing, and I don't know if you have this problem. I'm going to give him a little keepsake out here on this show tonight. So if you have a customer that comes to you, and I didn't create this, I don't know where I heard it from. I don't even know if it was in this industry, if it wasn't in this industry. Someone hits your car with a car door or a shopping cart and leaves a note saying, "Hey, I'm sorry. Here's my contact information. Let me know. I'll pay for it." Leave it on the windshield wiper. Windscreen is what you call it, I believe, right?
Yeah, that's what the Queen's English says.
And they would call and say, "Hey, you know, I need to get an estimate. This customer's left a note, dented my car. I have them send me a photo. And if it's something little, you know, if it's a little dent in the door, I'll say, you know what? Bring it over. Let me take a look at it." Or I'll go to them and take a look at it. I'll fix the dent for free. But I need you to call them while I'm here and tell them, "Hey, the dent's fixed. The dent guy took care of it. Just give them my information." And what that does is you've gained 2 customers just from that one transaction. And that lady that hit her car that left a note, which rarely happens. Okay.
Of course.
I maybe do 1 or 2 a year.
Yeah, honestly.
That lady is going to
And
tell 5 of her friends.
Yeah.
That's huge. You can't even pay for that marketing.
100%. And you know, you saying that as well, I do it with so like I've got guys I work with, like smart repair guys and detailers. If I ever do work for them, if it's for their personal vehicle, I never charge them for it, because it's really nice. And they go, "Oh, I've got a dent in my car." It's like, "Mate, don't worry, I'll sort it out," and I do it for free. And they go, "Really?" It's like, "Yeah, I don't take money off you." And then they'll go tell everyone, because they're like, "Use this guy, he's the man to use." And you know,
that's it.
They do the advertising, and you just spent a little bit of time sorting a dent out.
Yeah,
it's brilliant.
Well, I'm going to get ready to close this thing down. Do you have anything else you want these guys to know about the Queen's English?
I don't know, actually.
Well,
yeah, it's been fun. It's nice to just hang out and chat, really.
The other podcast you're on, why don't you kind of put that out there to get some guys to listen to that thing? Where can they find it?
So it's at Those Dent Guys on YouTube. But yeah, we just basically, because of the whole the British PDR industry is nothing like what it's like in the US. So we're just trying to, I mean, it's very much everyone fighting against each other. So now we're trying to sort of like bring everyone together, you know, and try and work together, keep the pricing at a good level, keep the quality up, and keep the sort of morale up as well. But yeah, it's just trying to keep everyone together.
And that's kind of like what we're doing here with all that.
And that's the thing. And like I say, with MTA, you know, we there was a show that I went to here, and it was just like, as soon as I got there, I was like, "Oh, really?" There was like hardly anyone there. There was like probably four trade stands, and I was like, oh. You know, in my head, I was like, "Oh, it's going to be like a British MTA," and you got there, I was like, oh, it may as well been like in. It was like a tiny little section, like one trade stand.
You're gonna have. Have you ever been to the US?
So basically, like I say, my girlfriend, she's from Jackson Hole in Wyoming.
Okay.
Yeah, and I've been to Jackson. I've been to quite a few. I've been to Vegas. I went over to California, not last year, the year before. We've got some friends there. Yeah.
Gonna have to do Vegas. And let me tell you,
100%.
Vegas MTE is going to be big trouble because
But this is what happened. I'm sure. Basically, I wanted to go. That was it. Basically, I was in the States when it was on. But we was like, I was going to a wedding, and the wedding was that day. And I messaged Manny that day because I was like, man, I can't say, oh, where's Aaron gone? He's gone to he's gone to MTE rather than coming to the wedding.
yeah, man, Vegas is going to be. There's so many dent guys that are pent up, and there's going to be more drunk dent guys at that show than there ever has been.
Yeah, because I'd see the last one with the fancy dress, like the costumes.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be interesting. You know, it's going to be a good one. I'm ready. I miss my dent family for sure.
But I do think, again, like with this whole thing, as sad as it's been, and you know, everyone's just not seeing each other, but you got to think of once this settles down and things will change into the new world, you know, everyone's going to want to spend more time with people even more now.
Yeah.
So I do think there'll be a big team of people from here, from the UK, and just we're all going to MTE.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
we'll have our own plane.
Man, let me tell you, I've drank some beers with Ben. So
well, Ben Ridley, yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
He's a legend. He's such a nice guy.
You know, we talked for hours. I mean, it was hours and hours. And that's one thing you do at MTE is literally you go to the show all day and your legs are tired and your feet are wore out. You take a shower and you go to dinner and then you drink until like 3 a.m. and do it all over again the next day. But
sounds
the
like
conversation you're having.
Yeah. Because you're all into the same thing, ain't you? You know, and I think that's what I found with Instagram as well. You know, because you wouldn't put stuff on Instagram if you're not passionate about it, and you wouldn't. So you're finding people who's passionate about the same thing. So of course you're going to like each other. You know, we all talk about dents. We look at dents. You know, you get home, you look at more dents. You know.
Today I caught myself just taking a picture of a random dent in this. I got this really bad Volvo at my shop. Shane's looking over at me. He's like, "What in the hell are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm trying to get this really good picture of this just dent in the door." And he's like, "Why?" I'm like, "Because it's gonna make an amazing picture."
But that's what I'm like. When you're driving home, you're just like on the motorway. You think, oh my god, what's that?
Yes. I'm like 80 miles an hour. If I remember, my wife was riding with me, and I was like, "Oh gosh, look at that one." She's like, "What?" I'm like, "Look at that." She's like, "What?" I'm like, "No, look at that."
Yeah. Well, Nicole's the same. She drives past. She goes, "Could you repair that? What about that one? Can you do that?"
Yeah.
Well, look, and if it's a nasty answer, I think
nope, can't fix it.
Pull over.
Now, you did have your vehicle wrapped. But now you took all the logos off of it, I think. Didn't you have your vehicle wrapped at one point?
No. Again, I'm getting that sorted in the next month or so. Just because, again, like I say, living in London is not a good choice. But hopefully try and I've got a nice little thing planned with it. Finally. Yeah. It's a good looking van. I mean, I've spent a lot of time sorting it out.
It looks good.
Nice.
I mean,
no way, it's the Coast Dad.
All we have is Transits and Nissan, whatever. So, well, let's get this thing wrapped up. I appreciate you coming on. Where can people find you?
Everywhere. I'm everywhere. Just Google me. Yeah. No. Honestly, yeah. Instagram is the best place. Just at DentFX. I mean, I've got no YouTube content, but I think I'll jump on that soon.
Let's do it.
Yeah, man. Yeah. But again, doing the podcast last week and chatting to you, I was like, it's actually really not that bad. And doing the stories, it's kind of nice.
You're like, oh, I don't know. You know, I get nervous, and I'm like, you'll be nervous for the first 5 minutes, and then after
that was it. Yeah. It was more nervous when you put the intro on. I was like, it's like
we're going to close out with that again. So we're going to close it back out for the people that missed it because it's such a good thing.
Yeah, my little.
So, you know, but look, man, I appreciate you coming
Ryan,
on.
I appreciate it, mate. It's been a pleasure.
And you know, it's cool. Like I said to my wife, I was like, I got Aaron coming on. She's like, where's he from? I'm like, I think like London or something. And she's like, what? Because I had Neil, he's from Ireland. It's cool to get guys.
Oh, Neil is so funny.
Oh, he's funny as hell. That dude, but it's nice to get guys in different countries.
Yeah, because it's a different
Things are
perspective,
different.
ain't it?
Yeah. The Queen's English,
And the whole industry is so different as well,
Yeah.
Even different parts of the country is different,
And the cars are different. I talked to Zan.
Yeah.
He's in Lithuania, and we'll talk just different customer quirks and stuff like that.
And the same, I speak to a couple of guys in Russia, and they're saying like the cars there, the steel is awful. Some of the cars, they're so thin. It's crazy.
Well, you guys go check him out, DentFX. Just get back on those stories. I'm challenging you.
Yeah, I will, man. Yeah, I'll get something good.
And you guys, look at that. See, we got the captain's hat. We're going solo on this one. I appreciate you guys watching. I will.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
See you guys next week. Enjoy your evening. Be safe. And wash your damn hands.
3 o'clock.
See you guys.
Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate it.
We must rid all vehicles of dents. Now, by the power of action, we must defeat them. Good luck, men. We can do this together. As a Dent army, I salute you.